All right, chat, we have one thing left to do today. As I sweat my ass off in this tiny room because I can't turn my air conditioner on because it lowers the quality. And the last thing we have to do today is check in with our good old friends at Brightside and find out what happens when the Megalodon meets the biggest snake ever. Duh.
This is going to be a very unusual match, but I bet it'll also be spectacular and intense. In the left corner, we have Megalodon.
Oh my god, what happened to its jaws? Its jaws have gotten worse. Why are its eyes there? Are those its eyes? Why are its eyes on its nose? And why does its jaw go like this?
This species went extinct about 3 million years ago, but there are good reasons why it's now a legendary animal.
Oh my god, it's a clown shark. It's got the red line as well.
It's the biggest shark that ever existed, and it was a super powerful predator in its time. And a round of applause for our contender in the right corner, Titanoboa. This one's way bigger than any other snake.
These things are really annoying if you've ever played Ark. If you've ever played Ark, Titanoboas are some of the most annoying things in existence. You get bit once, you get knocked out, and then you die and you lose everything. You can't fly over the damn swamp without a Tyla knocking you off your flyer, and then you get bit by a Titanoboa. God, I hate these things.
Lives in the swamps of Colombia, and it's the real boss of the area. Titanoboa can eat absolutely any animal it decides to hunt, and it faces no competition. It can swallow a giant turtle or even a crocodile.
How did it possibly... I know it wasn't as big as they're making it seem, but it was huge. How did it possibly maintain that? How was there enough things to eat for a population of Titanoboa to survive at any given time? It was absolutely massive. It seems ridiculous that that is even possible.
Looks like a modern boa, but behaves like an anaconda. And that's...
Snakes don't require much. Maizute, this is a 40-foot snake. It requires a lot.
A very scary mix. But can it stop a giant shark? Let's start by looking at their sizes. We still don't know about Megalodon's exact size, because the only remains of them that have survived are just fossilized backbones and teeth. But scientists generally think this monster was about 50 feet long. So it wasn't just the biggest shark that ever existed, but also one of the biggest fish of its time. Its closest rival is the modern whale shark, but they're only about 40 feet. The giant Titanoboa got so big thanks to a lucky coincidence. Snakes are cold-blooded animals, so they need a warm climate to live and grow in. Northeastern Colombia is perfect. It was about 90 degrees when Titanoboa was alive. This helped it grow to an incredible 42 feet in length.
That's not a lucky coincidence. What about that is a lucky coincidence? It evolved to be larger because it lived in a warm climate? Is that not just how all cold-blooded animals have evolved, because they live in warm climates?
Titanoboa could easily swallow the longest snake registered in the Guinness Book of Records, which is only about 25 feet long. And that's a big gulp. So we have 50 feet versus 42. The first point goes to Megalodon. What about weight?
Yes, because a creature's length determines its usefulness in a fight.
Titanoboa is about 2,500 pounds. That's heavier than a small car, including the passengers. But it might be even heavier if you run into Titanoboa after it's had lunch. In that case, you can add a few hundred pounds more from the turtle or the alligator that it just swallowed. But Megalodon is an incredible 50 times heavier than Titanoboa. The average adult
Do not say Titanobussy, but thank you for the sub.
female weighs between 27 and 59 tons.
So this is going to be another one of those videos where the Megalodon goes up 2-0. The Titanoboa will come back with 2 BS categories to make it an even match. And then the 5th category will have the Megalodon win because it always wins.
That's as much as an empty Boeing 737 airplane. And that's without carry-on luggage either. Luckily enough, Megalodon can't fly. So obviously, Megalodon wins in the weight category. Although having such a large weight...
Yeah, now they make up the most obscure category possible to give Titanoboa a point. We call this category the is it a snake or not category. Titanoboa gets 1 point.
makes it difficult for the shark to move and also means it's a little clumsy. Which leads us to our next category, speed and agility.
Ah, yes, of course.
Megalodon can swim at about 16 feet per second. That's enough to make it the ultimate predator, but it's still slower than plenty of other species. If Megalodon was swimming in a pool and Usain Bolt was running along next to it, he would be twice as fast. His top speed is almost 40 feet per second. Now, a sailfish, which is the fastest sea creature, can reach about 100 feet per second. Megalodon's size and weight make it turn really slowly, just the same as a large...
What are these scales? I wasn't going to point it out the first time, but now it's happened twice. This is 40, and that's 100. Something about this is misleading.
100 feet per second. Megalodon's size and weight make it turn really slowly, just the same as a large truck. So, when it attacks, the shark has only one chance to strike. If it misses, it has to go around for a second attempt. This gives its prey more than enough time to run away. Titanoboa isn't that fast either, especially on land. But when the giant snake is in the water, it can swim at a speed of up to 12 miles per hour.
What? How do we know that a snake swam 12 miles per hour underwater?
Not much, but enough for it to escape from Megalodon if it needs to. It's learned to swim so well because water is its main hunting ground. And because Titanoboa is a snake, duh, it also has incredible mobility. It can wriggle around and change direction very quickly. So,
okay, not like that though. This thing is just levitating. Someone put a Harry Potter spell on this thing and is moving it around with the wand. You can move it around. You can move around pretty well as a snake in the water with your tail, not like this.
Easily dodge Megalodon's bite. So here's the first point for Titanoboa. Next section, fighting skills. Megalodon is incredibly smart. It can change tactics depending on what kind of prey it's hunting. Scientists have found teeth markings from Megalodon on some whale fossils. These show that the giant sharks aim their bites at their prey's vital body parts to take them out quickly.
Like all animals.
Other remains of Megalodon's victims have multiple fractures. This is because Megalodon performs a super powerful ram attack that can knock almost anything out. In fact, this 50-ton beast can easily smash through concrete walls. So, Megalodon's opponents don't really stand a chance. Some of them...
Something tells me a cartilaginous fish cannot smash through a concrete wall. Maybe if the concrete is an inch thick.
Prefer to first damage the tails and fins of the whale they're hunting. This stops it from escaping, letting the huge predator finish off its defenseless victim.
Wouldn't it be really easy to just bite the middle of the snake?
Now, what can Titanoboa do in response?
We know how fast the snake went because of fossilized radar guns. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Of course, the fossilized radar guns that were measuring the speed of animals as they passed by, of course.
The giant snake isn't poisonous, but this doesn't stop it from hunting prey up to 4 meters long.
Venomous. Poisonous and venomous are not the same thing. It doesn't really matter whether it's poisonous or not. You meant venomous.
Its bite has a very special design.
I hate the way its face moves. I hate they code one animation for each creature. This is like a default texture in Blender, by the way. I know exactly how they made this, but also the lips shaking back and forth. It's like the people who do that thing with the horse, like that, but on a snake.
Of its teeth and jaws lets Titanoboa really clamp down on the body of its prey, so there's no escape. When hunting, Titanoboa uses similar tactics to an anaconda or a boa. By that, I mean it uses its powerful muscles and weight to stop its prey from moving. It deploys all of its strength to take away the animal's energy, making it helpless. So, Titanoboa is not only really speedy and agile, it can also fight its corner pretty well. It's definitely earned a point in the fighting skills section.
Oh, well, look at that. It's 2-2. Who would have thought? Have any of these videos ever not been 3-2? They always come up with a way.
The score is now 2-2. That's a tie going into the final round. We've got one more section before we find out which of these ancient monsters will win. Up now is fighting tools. Apart from its ramming power, Megalodon has something else up its sleeve, even though it really doesn't have arms or wears a coat. Let's take a look at its jaw. Its teeth are about 7 inches long. That's an absolute record for all known shark species in the world. Megalodon has about 250 of these deadly pointy things arranged in 5 rows. They're also really sharp, which helps it penetrate the thick skin of big animals like whales. Megalodon's jaws are 6.5 feet wide, and it has
big teeth and big jaw. Is that not something you already considered in fighting skills?
one of the strongest bites of any animal on the planet. Not only are they super dangerous, Megalodon's teeth are also really valuable. One of these ancient incisors was once found in Western Australia. The location where it was dug up was kept secret, but this didn't stop intruders from stealing it. It's probably in someone's private collection by now, and
what does this have to do with anything? Someone found a tooth one time, it was sold for a lot of money and stolen.
sadly, scientists missed the chance to learn something new about Megalodon.
I don't think they missed anything. There are thousands of teeth washing up every day for Megalodon. They were not a non-abundant creature. It was pretty easy to find.
Titanoboa also has a mean set of teeth. They're thin and pointed like needles. They bend inwards in the snake's jaw like fishing hooks. This little feature helps Titanoboa get a grip on its prey and prevent the slightest chance of it running or swimming away. If the animal tries to pull itself free, it will only hurt itself even more. And remember that Titanoboa is incredibly agile, so it can strike with that bite at an incredible speed. Now, it's time for the fight itself. Titanoboa never swims in the open sea, but here Megalodon has gotten lost and ended up in a shallow, swampy area off the coast of Colombia.
Oh, yes. Okay. No, that setup makes perfect sense. So the Meg got lost and is in a swamp in Colombia. Perfect.
In water like this, Megalodon finds it even harder to move around. It could bite Titanoboa just once and the fight would be over. But because the shark moves so much slower than the snake, for now, he doesn't get the chance to snap those enormous jaws. Titanoboa starts attacking Megalodon, but it can't do much damage to that thick skin with its sharp but very short teeth. Eventually, Megalodon gets its chance and ends the fight with a single bite. It turns out that those huge teeth were what really mattered in this competition.
He just strangling him, and the Megalodon just goes, and he dies. He falls over instantly.
It turns out Megalodon gets its chance and sharp but very short teeth. Eventually, Megalodon gets its chance.
Has the Megalodon ever lost? I think every time we've watched one of these, the Meg has won. All right, that is it for today. I'm sweating too much. I need to fucking turn my air conditioning back on. I'm gonna stream again next week, hopefully with better solutions, more content, more games, so forth. But right now, I need to get back into the air conditioning because it's fucking 100 degrees outside and I'm gonna die. Have a good day. Thank you for watching. Bye.